Hello everyone, I am the HalfWit Brit and this is Banished. So the last episode we focused on a couple of things. We got a bigger pasture for our pigs. We put a couple of fields in. Now these are not probably the biggest that we could go for a couple of farmers, so we could do some bigger ones. But for the time being that works quite well for us. We added quite a lot of extra housing and we did a tiny bit of decoration around the church, just trying to give it a bit of pride of place, I suppose, make it look like it actually belongs. Now we're kind of at a slight issue, I guess you could say. It's where I've added all these extra houses. You're getting situations where, well, there's like, say, one person by themselves, or the people are so different in age that they're not going to reproduce. Now them two obviously are at an age where they won't have any children, that's fine. And there's quite a few of those, so there's two families, this house and this house, they're not going to reproduce. This person's by themselves and obviously very old, so no reproduction. And there's quite a bit of that, so we're due a little bit of a die-off. And there's obviously people that are living by themselves. I knew this would happen, so it's not the end of the world. And I did say, I think in the last episode, that when we're expanding, you've got to be sort of mindful about how quick you're building. And I think we probably cut it very close there, I think we'll say. But it's okay, it should be fine. But we are going to lose a couple of people. Hopefully we'll gain a few people as well. We currently have 24 students that will come out at some point and add to our pool of workers. Now we do need to upgrade this building to get more students in, but that requires a product that we currently don't have, and I forget the name of it. I feel like it's some kind of packed furniture or something like that. So that's something that we need to think about. I think that's part of the colonial charter stuff, so that's something we may investigate today. Currently we're in the middle of summer, I should say the end of summer, but now in late summer. I've asked basically all the workers, I'm going to drop down the builders down to 1 because I've only got some stone paths being done. I've asked them to remove some of this stuff here just to kind of get ready for the next bits. We still need to do quite a bit of decoration, but I'm kind of, just feeling my way through the game at the moment, and I'm quite enjoying it. A little bit more relaxed than I may normally do. I'd kind of rush things to get stuff done, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys are finding watching, but I'm certainly enjoying playing. Use my words there. What we might do first is just, I know I've just told all my builders, like, yeah, it's just one of you now. We'll put a pathway in for that. And food is sort of okay. It's not great. We are probably due a harvest soon because it is late summer, so we are going into autumn. It looks like the potatoes may have been done a little bit late, but it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Pigs, well, we're not going to get any pork for a while, but they are reproducing, so that is a positive sign. We could potentially look at doing some things on the water with more fish. Did we put a smoker in? I think we did. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this actually giving me more fish? Because it's using firewood and fish to smoke. Now, in the real world, you smoke a fish, you get a fish, you don't get extra fish. I'm assuming it does give you extra, even if it's, just double. I'm not sure. If it's a waste of time, I may remove it, but I'm not too sure what the kind of input versus output is when it comes to that building. But anyway, let's take a look at, it might be refined resources actually. Let's see in here. I mean, I could narrow this down just to colonial charter, which probably would make sense on the assumption that I'm correct with what I'm thinking. So we've got tools and forges, industrial fuel, well, it won't be that. Precious items, no, it won't be that either. Construction, it could be this. So what do we have in here? A building supplier, that could be the thing we're thinking of. Homewares, it's definitely not that. Brickworks, shipyard, water wheel, I think it's this building here. So prepares building supplies. The building supplier is a craftsperson who compiles the resources necessary to build complex structures. Okay. So I think it is this building, and that's kind of a nice building. Now, I'm just thinking this should be more of a farm area. I don't want this to become like some big production hub. I feel like that would be a completely separate area in itself. However, needs must, and we do need this building. We may relocate it later on. Towns do things like that. Industries do move away, and new things kind of come in over time, so we could put this in. And I'm just sort of Not sure where to put it. It feels like a dockside building when you sort of look at it. But I think for the time being, we'll put it here. Do we have everything that we need in the long run here to actually produce the goods? I'm not sure. Because if we need things like furniture and things like that, we currently don't have them. But at least if we have it, we can start producing some of those goods. I would have preferred a smaller version of this building initially. I think that probably would have worked better over here. we work with what we have, I guess. So the next thing to think about is actually I will put another builder in there. Obviously we've got lots of resources to be transported. I don't know how we're doing with lumber. We've got quite a lot of flowers. Do we have... I might have limited that. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's limited to 100 and we're currently full and we need 60. Okay, so we should be fine. We definitely have the logs and stone, so that's just a case of waiting there. What else do we need? We got food, so we got another field we could technically put in. But I'll wait for this to be cleared because I'm thinking this area here will become farmland. And then we may switch these houses out later on to the farmhouses, which... Ooh, are they colonial charter? I'm not sure. Let me have a quick look in here. There's quite a lot of stuff. Salt box, town abode. Actually, let's have a look at some of these. I mean, kind of sort of looks okay. The textures are a little bit less detailed, I guess you could say, versus the red ketchup there. Country house, there we go. That's what I was thinking of. So it's a very similar style building. Now the question is, what can it be upgraded to? Just a large log cabin? I think we will probably go with the country houses, and that requires something. Now what was that? That requires something that this building here makes and something else, so we're getting into some serious production. But yeah, I think I will remove these and make it more of a farm town, and we'll... I was thinking about really expanding this area, but kind of thinking about the fact that I'm going to have a town over here. I like the idea of this area being more of a harbour. I don't mind having the odd fisherman, I guess. And we could technically lower this terrain, if I remember correctly. It's not necessarily a good idea to mess around with that stuff, but I think you can, right? Oh, whether I should or not, I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look at them. It is mostly rivers around here, isn't it? Yeah, there's no other real big body of water, at least not within where the stone's throw. I mean, I could look at a map, but if it's not close enough for me to see that quickly, we're not going to bother about it. Right, so I'm going to let these guys just catch up a little bit, and I'll be right back with you. Well, we've just had the harvest season, so let's see what we did. 716 cabbage. That's pretty good. And potato-wise, we did 300. That's not bad at all, actually. I was hoping they'd have cleared this area by now, but I'm thinking, because we're at that time of the year, we should probably go with some more pastures. I think I went with this one of these down here last time, didn't I? Not pastures, a crop field. Let me sort of... I want to be close to this, but not too close. Will it let me build over one of these? There's a good question. So I'm going to make these a little bit bigger this time, I think. 15 by 15 feels like a good size. And I'll put two next to each other, like so. And then maybe leave a gap for a road, possibly. Or a gap of 3. Now the question is here. And none of these have any fences. I'm happy with that. I don't mind adding fences on afterwards, but I think we're good. Yeah, that's left so I can have a path through the middle and maybe some carts and stuff down the side. Just decorative pieces. I've got to do that. And I think for the time being, we'll probably ask for these to be removed because we don't need them right now. And then we will... Where is the button? Increase priority. What happens if you do more than one field at a time? Which one will they go for first? Have they took stuff here? Nope, they've not even this. No, they're just basically like, no, we're not doing that. We're putting this pathway in because we're tired of walking backwards and forwards along here on these crappy little roads that you've given us. We want something a little bit better. So they're doing that first, which is fair enough, but the labourers probably should be dealing with that. I am going to just chuck in a few extra builders. How are we doing with students? Yeah, a couple of students have come through as well. That is fantastic. Like I've not got enough things to think about. The game throws me a curveball and gives me a loads more stuff. Sugarcane. I feel like we need that. I don't know what for, but I feel like we're going to need that at some point. I mean, sugar's an important resource, isn't it, really? So we'll go for that. We don't really have the fodder thatch to use, but there's quite a few stuff here. Quite a few things. We even got pears, so this is like orchards, isn't it? We've got soybeans. I think we'll go for that. This trade is going to come back around again at some point. We do need to think about things to trade. Now, obviously, domesticated animals was mentioned in the comments, and it's something we could do. They are worth a lot of money, and obviously they can build these things. It's something we can consider, but what other things are worth trading? There's a good question. And I don't want things that are necessarily just like firewood, because you can, you know, produce mass amounts of it, but just like the not something too overpowered, but something that feels reasonable, I guess we could say. How are we getting on over here? We can see quite a bit of fodder as well. We got a bit of food. Like, they're working their way through. We have, oh yeah, I was gonna say we have 4 people, but that would be the farmers. And we have a couple of people that are cold for some reason. Where on earth are you? Why are you all the way over there? Are you... Okay, that bridge is built. Is that something to do with this stockpile? I'm going to remove that. I don't think that's an issue, but that is a long distance to be walking. When your health is reasonable, you should make it back, hopefully. Hopefully, famous last words. We have this farm up and running now, so we have the sugarcane, parsnips, potatoes, cabbage. We'll put some parsnips in, why not? And currently it says we don't have enough farmers, which is weird because we have a couple of just lingering around. Oh, there we go. One of them has decided to go in. That's fair enough. But this should produce a lot more food for us, I think, for the next year. We're sort of lingering around 1,000. We don't want to expand too much, I don't think, until we've really secured that additional amount of food. And if these are going to give us at least 1,000 each, I think that would be quite good. Well, we are in spring now, and we can see we have some nomads. These 2 fields here are now going to be planted. These are our root vegetables. By the looks of it, we have potatoes and parsnips. These 2 have not managed to be uncovered yet, so it's possibly too late for those. We also have our building supply at 84%. Now the question is, do I want to bring some nomads in? But are they not? What? There's no nomads? Are they over here at this one? 20. Okay. Let's just do it. We have 20 homeless apparently, but I'm sure they're going to go into there in due course. There's not really any spare houses right now, but with any luck... Oh my goodness, whereabouts are they? Oh. Where are you? Are you stuck? I think I need to bring a map up because I have no clue where we're at currently. Map, let's see. We're in this bottom corner. Okay. So realistically speaking, you're not stuck as such. Wait a minute. Where were you? I was looking at that upside down, wasn't I? Let's look at the big map. We rotate around. Okay, so our village is this way. And they're down here. Somewhere. Let's click. There we are. Let's try that again. You are there. Okay. So they need... Oh, that'd be 2 bridges. Or... Oh, yeah. That's going to be it. That is going to be a problem. Ooh, dear. Okay. Can we pause this for a second? Pause that. What is the cheapest bridge? The most rickety bridge we can do. This is a road. Are these bridges? Bridges, yes. Stone bridge. Isn't it just like a basic wooden bridge? What are you? You take 1 and 3, so they're exactly the same. 2 units per length. There we go. That will work nicely. Let's see if we can rescue these people. I'm looking for probably the most narrowest point, but I don't think there's much difference. Okay, they're probably going to die. There is that. What we could do is get them working over here. If I put in a little stockpile, I hate doing this because I know it's going to go wrong, but it could bring them closer by. Where's the stockpiles? Are in here. Oh, it's a bit bumpy here, isn't it? But if I do that, they may start moving. It says that idling. Let's just have a quick speed up and see if it makes a difference. Oh, yeah, some of them are moving. There we go. That's a positive start. So if they've got some of the resources over there, we may be okay. I've lost all bearings now. Here we go. And I did put a priority on that, didn't I? Let's just double check. We're going to keep killing nomads at this rate. It feels like a thing we're just going to do. Okay, they're over here. They're starting to clear the area. So hopefully that's a good sign. I don't see anybody over this way, though, coming across, which is a little bit concerning. Maybe if... Let me just... Cancel removal. Is that the one? Yes. Let's not have them working on any of that. We can also pause these two buildings. Just got to remember I have the little icon switched off, so I've got to remember to come back and set that up. Hopefully, just give it a little bit of a fast forward. I want to see some people heading this direction to give me some comfort. It looks like they're potentially just hauling right now. Not good. But they've definitely cleared quite a bit. They're still going. I'm hoping they manage to save themselves at this point. That's their only hope. Well, there we go. Aha. I shouldn't laugh. I was just about to say they'd started building it. That was the really positive thing there. And I was just looking at the top corner and I saw people starving, and there we go. All 20 of them just like wiped out. Oh boy. So let's put everyone back to where they should have been. What could I have done? There's nothing. I'm hoping now we have enough bridges like dotted around, at least once this is complete, to stop that happening again in the future. It's really frustrating, but it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it. So let's get the builders back to normal. I was kind of, in a sense, looking forward to that realistically, because it's just going to be, you know, extra people that we could have potentially used. I'm going to see here as well, just moving on swiftly, if there's enough time for them to actually grow cabbage, because we are in the middle of summer, but we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. Now, hopefully this building is almost complete as well, so we'll be able to see what it can actually produce and what it needs. Well, I did say the trader would be back, and I wasn't wrong, and we definitely have more stuff now. Broccoli, we've got more greens here. Parsnips we've already got. Pears, raspberries, blueberries, peanuts, oats. Ooh, oats. I wonder if that can be used for bread. Possibly. Broccoli, I mean, that would be another green, wouldn't it? We could use. Or raspberries. Or blueberries. Do you know what? I'm tempted to go for the raspberries. Why not? I think we'll do that, because I'll just give... It's a fruit then, isn't it? So we got vegetables and fruits. What do we need? 125 more. At least it tells me that. Saves me trying to work it out. There we go. I'll leave that trader there for the moment in case, you know, we manage to get more resources in there just in time before he goes. And there we go. Kind of a nice looking building, to be fair. We got someone that doesn't know what tool he wants to use. Or she, I think. It could be a woman. But hammer and saw. So... let's have a look. What do we need? Oh my goodness, bricks and glass. So this is building supplies, so that is the big piece. So we either need bricks or glass, and lumber, iron, log, stone. So we need sand or clay. I'm guessing that is. Right, but that's not going to actually give us the other thing that we needed either. That'll be the upgrade for the school, I think. But there was something else, wasn't there? Let me have a quick look. What are we under? We're under this one, that's correct. So, fuel production, clothing and fabrics, crafting. What are you? Cooper, so that's barrels and things, isn't it? Yep. Glassworks, that needs sand, makes sense. A joiner creates furniture for building homes. So, maybe that's what we need. I'm not entirely sure. Brickworks. Again, it's probably going to be clay. So we got the building supply, homeware supply. It could be that, you know. I'm going to build that just across the way here. This is not permanent by any stretch, but we're going to get them in place. And while we're thinking about it, we're going to need either clay or sand. I have a weird feeling one of these is broken unless it's been fixed. There is that. What do we have here? A sand pit. A clay pit. Now, don't these generally need to be near the water? Or am I incorrect in thinking that? Let me have a look-see here. I need like a straight coastline. Do we have any? Oh, there. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they need to be slightly in the water. Okay. I thought as much. So we have a tiny sand pit. I may go for that, and we may go for glass, possibly. A village clay pit, albeit that's quite a small building. I don't know where we're going to manage to squeeze that in. We could potentially put it there. I'm going to, guess that it needs to go that way. So if we remove that stockpile, we could get it in there, and it shouldn't affect any of the fishing. Okay, we'll probably do that. We'll remove you, and we'll remove these roads because they're going to obviously be in the way, like so. Perfect. We could probably do it better ways of storing some of these goods as well. That's something else we can look at, but for the moment I think we're good food wise. It's starting to trickle down slowly, but it's not in a bad place. Clothing and tools are fine, logs are fine, firewood's a little bit iffy. Now we're going to need to really work on that. I guess charcoal is going to be the thing. I mean, potentially would be fine with firewood. I guess if I stopped using the fodder for trade, these guys would be okay. I think that's the problem. Yeah, there's just literally no fodder anywhere. Because there is this over here, so we could harvest some. Let's give them something to do if they're not doing anything. There we go. Before it all disappears. Perfect. Okay, they've cleared the area for us, so we need to go into. Actually, let's go back the other way because it was just a little bit easier. And this one here. Or was it this one? Actually, no, it wasn't. I'm telling lies now. Here we go. It was a tiny clay pit, I think. No, it wasn't a village clay pit. That could be the one. Yes. We'll put you into there. And hopefully, I didn't check to see what we needed for that, but hopefully we have everything we need. We might even put, actually, it makes sense to have a bit of a stone road along here as well, seeing as they do walk along there quite a bit. That needs iron and logs. How are we doing for iron? We have 38. We're in a good place. Building's almost done too. Everything is working quite well. I'm a little bit worried, with the exception of killing off 20 nomads. I mean, if we slightly ignore that, that's not too bad. We have 13 piggies as well. They're breeding quite well. Excellent. I'm kind of liking the look of this area. And I think, yeah, if I sort of connected around, I think I mentioned about somewhere for them to clean their clothes, but I might actually potentially build some of that in here if it would allow me to, and I can put some washing lines across just to make it look the part. And I'm probably just looking at this, not going to build too many houses on this side because I don't want this to be a massive town, and then just have a couple of the farmhouses just dotted around in this area. And then that will then hopefully lead us on to the new area. Is this finished? Oh no, not quite. Patience. So indeed it was the homeware supply that we needed for this item here. And then I take a look and I'm like, oh, for crap's sake, we need even more stuff. And we can see here we've got lamp, oil, pottery, bedding. I'm hoping pottery is made from clay because we're going to need that for bricks as well. So hopefully we can go down that route. And then we need furniture, which this is becoming a let me try that again. Becoming a full-on industrial area, which is not what I wanted. It's starting to make me think about the main town. That's sort of where my brain's going at the moment. But you know, we've got to do what we have to do, I guess, to get these initial things in. So is this one needed the building supplies? So initially, I think we can go with that to build this building. But some of the other stuff, we may just have to wait. But at least we sort of know what we need now. So for this one, it's most likely going to be, was it bricks? Bricks and lumber. So what's the options we have here? Joist. Oh, lumber's possibly going to be the one. Is lumber trees? It is, isn't it? I think it is. But when you play different games and they word things differently, it gets a little bit... Well, that's a log. Oh boy. What's... Oh, lumber log. Okay, oh, it produces lumber. Okay, so that's that building. Right. So lumber and brick. I'll probably go for that one, maybe. So we'll switch that into there for now. We'll put someone in there ready. Construction limit of 100. Is this also on the same thing? It is. So I may need to up that at some point, but we'll leave that to do what it's doing. It's currently at 76. We can see there we need 18 plus 30 bricks. So I suppose once this is built, the other thing we're going to need, well, it's two things. The other one's going to be fuel, I guess. Let me have a look at. So what will it be under? So we've got crafting. I'm assuming it won't be that. Precious items, construction. It'll be this, won't it? Yeah, brick makers. I'm assuming there's probably more than one as well. Let's have a look at the different ones. That one only has the one type. We've got... That one's not too bad. That one looks like it'd fit in a little bit better over here. So what's the difference between these from a resource? Wow, that needs stuff that we don't have. That's cool. That needs a lot of stone or iron. And that one needs wood. I may use this one. Because we got the clay here, and I know we got a little butcher's hut there, but hopefully if we can just stick that sort of next door to there, I think I can be quite happy with that. I think that'll work just nicely. As for the fields, we're in early winter, but I've set this one up ready for raspberries. We have cabbage here. Now these ones look like they may be struggling with the 15 by 15 because the two workers, albeit these shouldn't necessarily die because it's not going to get cold enough, but we've not quite managed to harvest everything, albeit it's almost 1,000 parsnips there. Just a little bit over 600 potatoes, so I'm wondering if they would need a third person in here. Possibly. We'll see what happens. And I've just remembered something, this little option here for pickup. Because they're harvesting and then taking the stuff back, it's slowing them down a little bit. So now I've switched that off. Let me just see what happens. I think she should just go along and harvest everything, and then the laborers will come along and grab the resources. Yes, we're in winter. Obviously it's not very cold in this climate that we have here, so we're okay. See, somebody just died of old age, so we are losing a couple of people, but we was expecting that. Do you know what, I'd like it to tell me how old they were when they died, because I think that'd be kind of a nice touch, because you know, back then people didn't live for very long. So yeah, and it doesn't tell me over there, which is unfortunate. But some of these people were in their 80s, which I think at the time is a ripe old age, really. I mean, well, 72. Even if you think about now, what's the average life expectancy? I guess that's different depending on where you live in the world, but it's got to be roughly in the late 70s, 80s, hasn't it? So yeah, I mean, yeah, I must be doing something right. What do we have here? That's my fish smoker. That's probably using some of my firewood. And then we have these two chaps here, currently chopping logs or lumber, or what do we call it? Is it just logs? I think it is logs, isn't it? Yes. But this one is struggling probably because we don't have much thatch. Yes, because I kept putting it into here. Now I did reduce this to 1,000, and they do have 1,000, but we don't have enough stuff in there actually when you sort of think about it to trade for anything. But that's fine for the time being. We're doing okay for food. So I think that's not a massive issue. What we need now is these two buildings here to be complete. How this one's managed to get to 52% while this one's being built for longer, I don't know, but we know how we fix that. We come in and we give it an old increased priority. And there we go. As the trees come into full bloom for early spring, we now have this lovely building in here. There we go. Raw material limit of 1,000. And we're currently at 0, so that's good for me. And we have this weird kind of glitchy thing with the tool again. You can see him changing different weapons, different tools, which is a little bit strange. But I'll leave that as one worker. I don't know how much they're going to dig out at what rate, so I'm quite happy to leave that as is. Then that is still building. We don't have anything else being built, I don't believe, apart from that bridge. Did they ever build that? No. That could be what's slowing my workers down, albeit none are assigned to it currently. So maybe it's not that, but just with that sort of in mind, I'm thinking we should give it a priority just to get it done, because what I don't want happening is people walking backwards and, you know, they hit it twice and go away, and it takes forever. Once that's done, hopefully it should help. How much have we produced already? I can see a little bucket there. Don't know if, well, it doesn't say anything currently. That's fine. You've got 33 lumber. Fantastic. We are now planting, it looks like. Yep. How much did we produce in the end last year? Oh my, almost 1,500 parsnips. That is a lovely. So I think from a food point of view, we're quite safe for the current population. Quite happy with that. I'm just waiting for these tombstones to disappear from here, and then we can put a fully fledged graveyard in there. How are we getting on over here? Stone limit of 400. Yeah, they probably need a lot more workers in the long run, but you know, again, kind of happy with that. That's working perfectly for us. It's just so much decoration. I feel like I need to spend almost an episode just going around and tidying things up, and then that'd have to be a bit of a time lapse. I don't know how you guys feel about that. It wouldn't be an entire video of a time lapse, but you know, a little bit more, maybe more of a dedicated episode to that, just to kind of finish some of these things off and remove some of these temporary sort of buildings, because we do need to start thinking about coming over here and building this town. So we do need to start building up some buildings sort of in this area, because I can't just start building here, for example, and expect them to walk the whole way. So we'd have to start building the town from the side, the center. And I'm sort of thinking maybe, I don't know, you need a lot of space, and this is, I mean, it's quite flat over here by the looks of it, so we could potentially start building the main side of the town here, maybe have something centralized here, whether it's a big church or a big marketplace, I'm not sure, but I do like the idea of some kind of harbor along here. These things are kind of a bit of a pain. I guess we could try and flatten them out and see how it goes, but yeah, I think, oh, we do have another body of water. There we go. Well, I mean, technically then, we could just build the town here, and then we could go out into the lake. There is that, but I do want a harbour, so I don't quite know how it's going to work. But usually, farmland is just on the outskirts of a major city anyway, so if we play our cards right, we may be able to take advantage of sort of this area here. I mean, we could build across here and have the river going underneath, because you could have some little tunnels, technically speaking, couldn't you, where the water would flow out. So yeah, we could do that. Thoughts. Well, if it will allow me to do it, that's the main thing. Now we have another trader, and look at this, it's just seeds constantly. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything that we can actually trade with, but it's good to know that we are getting those pretty quickly. I'm just looking at this. I think because I've asked them to prioritize this bridge, it's just taking forever. An absolute age. 5 builders, that can only have 4. There's none assigned to it, so the question is, where are the builders? Is it this button? Apparently you're working. You're standing still, so can't be working. Your happiness is really low. That's interesting. You're getting something to eat, so they are slowly but surely doing it. Maybe if I can click my mouse a little bit more, assign a few more workers, things may happen just a little bit quicker. And we have, is this raspberries that we're growing? It is. Perfect. Lovely. Oh, and for the second time today, we have some nomads. They actually managed to make it all the way across, which is, I suppose, good news. 25. There we go. They all suddenly change into some clothes, so they blend in. We currently have, so we're full here, and there's 8 people homeless. So potentially, you know, we could be killing a few more, because that's just seemingly how we do things. But I'm wondering if, let's have a quick look at red ketchup. And if we go to the houses, are any of these boarding houses? What are you? Are these just buildings themselves? Okay, they're lovely. So it's a similar style to this. In fact, it's the same style as that. So we could have gone down that route. I guess, is there different? Aha, there's different stone. Lovely, I didn't realise. Is this the boarding house? A hostel, yeah, so that would be. So what happens if we go to... Is this the ones we were using? Oh, I'm confused. What did I do last time? So it wasn't those. Or did I go through this menu? Maybe that's... Yeah, I think I did. But either way. So we got the multi-level house. we got these different coloured ones as well. So probably I want them to look, yeah, I want them to blend in with the current building. So if we go to this one, you could actually, I mean, I could technically put it on this corner here, but we have a road in the way. But this side here will need a, let's do this right. Yeah, it will need a corner piece. So we could, is that going to work? It looks a little bit strange. I don't know if you just don't know if it's going to line up. That's what I'm sort of looking at. Yeah, it doesn't quite look, unless, let me have a look at the top floor. So I'm assuming you'd go something like this. If I line it up next to this one, so, okay. So that sort of makes sense. And if I look at the downstairs, right, it kind of does line up, but doesn't at the same time. So I don't know if I'm doing this right or not, but I think we'll go for it and see. You can always rebuild it afterwards. So which way round should it go? I feel like it should go here, but it just looks like it's sat back a tiny bit too much, but we'll do that, and then we'll give that a super priority because we don't want to kill any more nomads. We are banned from killing any more nomads. Do you know what? I was just about to speed ahead to get this done. I am so happy that I didn't do that. Could you imagine the chaos? Okay. That was fortunate. So what are we gonna go for then? Oh, is it these? I'm confused as to what I've done here. I think I'm just looking at different menus constantly. Because these do not look... Oh, they're not the multi-level, are they? It's this one, this one. I must have gone through a completely different menu last time. Yeah, I think I must have done. So we'll put you... Wait, are you glass as well? You are. What? What is going on? So it's not you. I'm having a bit of a moment here. Right, let me go through the houses. Actually, no. Let me take that back. We go through Red Ketchup. We go to Medieval Town. We go to houses. There we go. That's what we did. It only took me a moment. Aha, and there is the corner house. Bloody hell. Did I make that difficult, or did I make that difficult? We'll put you in there. Are you the, like, second floor? Yes. Okay, there we are. Wow, that was some effort, and I apologize. That must have been some difficult watching. Right, let me speed up and get this done. Well, by the time they actually got that done, we had, I think, 2 or 3 families that were looking for space. And then as soon as it's built, no. No one's gone into that building. That's because people have died and things like that, and they've moved it into other houses. There's still some in here. But yes. Oh my goodness, that was just a little bit stressful. Anyway, so we got clay and firewood for bricks, which is what we want, so we can put someone in there. But the issue here is simply going to be, I think, firewood. So we need to think about, I guess, like sort of topping up our fodder. That would be one way of doing it. We can also step up our firewood production, couldn't we? There is that. There's not a lot of fodder around. Maybe, did I actually buy the seed for fodder? I think I did. But I think we got a lot of spare people, so I'm just going to say, go forth, collect the fodder. We're going to need it. We're probably going to need an extra person in here as well, because I don't think we're going to quite... I mean, 12. That's not a lot for one person. And I don't know how much it needs per brick, but we're going to have to speed up that process a tiny bit, I think. But I think that's a good spot to end this one. We're kind of in a good place here. We've got the production we need to upgrade this. In fact, somehow... Oh no, I was going to say somehow we've got the resources we haven't. I was expecting the resource to be grayed out. But yeah, we just need the one, and then we can make our school a little bit bigger. I was tempted to leave it as a small school, but I think education is important, and we're going to do that anyway. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.